Chalo. So now let's go ahead with the third part, right? First part, government companies was done. Second part, your punishment was done. Now let's go to the third part. That is your dormant company, right? Let's go to the third part. That is your dormant company. Only one section to be done there. Like dormant company is covered only in section number 455. And then we have got the corresponding rules for this dormant company that we are supposed to do. Okay, but yes, this particular part, this third part is going to be very, very important. Yes, so just pay attention here. I know you have been paying before also, but then here specifically dormant company is important from exam point of view. So just concentrate. Yes. Okay. Now listen. I'll write it here. Yes. Okay. Dormant company. First of all, what do you mean by the term, or what do you understand by the term dormant company? Dormant company means we can say it is a defunct company, or we can say it is an inactive company, or any company in which there are no operations kind of a thing. Such a company can be treated, such a company can be treated as a dormant company, right? This is what the informal definition is, right? Now let's try to first understand, okay, let's try to first understand that which company will be treated as a dormant company. If the company becomes dormant, means suppose if there are no transactions in the company, etc., then how do we proceed ahead? Like, what are the compliances which are to be followed by the company? What is the position of that particular company in the register of companies, etc.? Let's try to understand that in depth. Okay, we have got the procedural things here, right? So now just try to understand. Suppose if there was a company, okay, suppose if there is a company, okay, which was formed under the Companies Act, but it was formed for a future project. Okay, it was formed means at the time of formation itself, it knew that the main operations will not be starting now. It is going to do some business, but in the near future. Okay, or it is, it has purchased some asset now, or it is holding some intellectual property as of now, but for a future project, and it has no, see the wordings, it has no significant accounting transactions. Okay, it has no significant accounting transaction. This thing is very, very important. Means the company is into existence. Okay, the company is into existence, but the company is going to do some business in the near future, and as of now there are no significant transactions that are happening in the company. So this is one such case where the company can be treated as a dormant company. Okay, this is one such case where we can go and make an application to the ROC that, sir, please give us the tag of a dormant company. Okay, or alternatively, if the company is an inactive company. Okay, the company is an inactive company. Ma'am, what do you mean by the term inactive company? It's a very general term. Okay, inactive company is a very general term. What do you mean by this? So inactive company, we can say there will be 3 pointers in that. Okay, everyone here. Any company which is not carrying on any business or operation. Okay, it is not carrying on any business or operation. That company will be treated as an inactive company. Okay, or any company which has not made any significant accounting transaction. Okay, any significant accounting transaction in the last 2 financial years. Okay, ma'am, what is significant accounting transaction? Wait, I'll come to that. Okay, or any particular company which has not filed its FS and the annual returns, financial statements under section 137 with the ROC, and annual return under section 92 with the ROC during the last 2 financial years. Okay, if any one of the circumstances also arises, then the company will be treated as what? Then the company will be treated as inactive company. Okay, the company will be treated as an inactive company. Very clear with this? So if the company was formed for a future project and no transactions are happening at all. Okay, no transactions are happening at all. That is one case. Another case is if the company, as of now, the company is an inactive company. Okay, means there could be a possibility that in this second case, the company was active for some number of years and now at present there are no business transaction, or during the last 2 years there were no transaction, or for the last 2 years it has not done the filings with the ROC, etc. Okay, so here we have not yet started at all, and in this case we had started, but as of now we are inactive company. So in these two cases, okay, in these two cases, the company will be treated to be a dormant company. Yes? Very clear with this? Yes? Now listen, before we go ahead, just let's try to understand the meaning of the term significant accounting transaction. See, if there are significant accounting transactions, the company is not a dormant company. But if the company is not a significant accounting, is not doing significant accounting transaction, then in that case, it can be treated as a dormant company. Now, what do you mean by significant accounting transaction? At least we understand. Okay, significant means something important. Okay, something important, and that too relating to business operations. Okay, that too relating to business operations. Okay, let me just give you an example. Say for example, I tell you, company did some sale purchase transactions. Is it a significant accounting transaction or not a significant accounting transaction? So yes, that becomes a significant accounting transaction. Okay, suppose if I tell you, company paid statutory fees to the ROC. If company paid statutory fees to the ROC, that is not a significant accounting transaction. Why? Because company has to pay it irrespective of its business operations, right? So the transaction which pertains to the business, those will be treated as a significant accounting transaction. Rest of them will be treated to be non-significant accounting transactions. Okay, so what they have told is, they have given a list of 4 transactions. Okay, listen, they have given a list of 4 transactions which are non-significant accounting transactions. Okay, which are non-significant accounting transactions. Now, what are those? Okay, what are those? Listen. Now, just one example which I gave you. Fees paid by the company to the ROC. That you have to pay irrespective of your business. Okay, just because you are registered with the ROC, you have to pay that. Okay, or any other payment done to fulfill the requirements of the law. Means as per law you have to pay it. Okay, example, whenever you file any returns with the ROC, etc., at that time you have to pay. Or say for example, if you want to increase your authorized share capital, at that time you have to pay the fees. So anything that you have to pay as per the law, that is not a significant accounting transaction, that you are doing irrespective of your business operations. Okay, then after that, allotment of shares. Okay, then there is something called as allotment of shares to fulfill the requirements of the act. Example, you must have heard that to incorporate a company, some minimum shares must be issued, some minimum share capital must be raised. So at that time you would have issued the shares and you would have got the capital. That is again not a significant accounting transaction because that is the requirement of the law. Right. And then the last one, payment done to maintain the office or its records. Example, amount paid to the CS for filing the returns with the ROC, amount paid to the CA for some audits, right? Amount paid to the accountant, etc. All these things, or anyone to maintain the statutory records, etc. That you have to do because of the requirements of the law. So these 4, okay, these 4 are not your significant accounting transaction. Okay, if you do this, you cannot determine whether your company is a dormant company or not. Okay, you cannot determine whether the company is a dormant company or not. But if you are doing significant accounting transaction, means apart from these 4, if you are doing any significant accounting transaction, then in that case, okay, if you are doing significant accounting transaction, then in that case, you cannot be treated as a dormant company. Significant means you are doing some important transaction, so you are not dormant. Very clear with this? So any transaction other than these 4, okay, any transaction other than these 4 will be treated as significant accounting transaction. Okay, suppose if you have not done any significant accounting transaction in the last 2 years, or if no significant accounting transaction has been done at all, then yes, you will be treated as a dormant company. Very clear with this? Yes. Say for example, you know that you are a dormant company, means there are no transactions at all, or if you are an inactive company, you yourself have come to know that you are a dormant company. Okay, then in such cases, you can go and make an application to ROC. Okay, you can go and make an application to the ROC in form number MSC1. Okay, you can go and make an application to the ROC in form number MSC1 that, sir, we are a dormant company or we are an inactive company and we wish to get ourselves converted from an active company to a dormant company. No problem. Can I say here you are suo moto going and making an application? So whenever you are suo moto going and making an application, then in that case, make sure that you have passed a special resolution. Okay, make sure that you have passed a special resolution in the general meeting, and special resolution means at least 3/4 of the members, okay, 3/4 of the shareholders, obviously in value, have approved it that yes, they are okay. Yes, they are okay in going with the application for getting the status of a dormant company. Okay, so basically majority of the shareholders by way of a special resolution should agree to this particular fact that yes, we wish to make an application to the ROC for getting the status of a dormant company. And once the ROC is satisfied, with your application, then what? Then it may grant you, the status of a dormant company. Okay, it may allow you a status of a dormant company. We made an application in form number MSC1. Okay, when they allow, okay, if ROC allows, then what? If ROC allows, then ROC will issue a certificate. Okay, ROC will issue us a certificate in form number MSC2. Okay, it will issue us a certificate in form number MSC2 that yes, you have been granted the status of a dormant company. Very clear with this? And what does ROC do? You know, ROC maintains a register. It maintains a register of active companies also. It maintains a register of dormant companies also. So now your name will be removed from the register of active companies and your name will be put in the register of the dormant companies. Very clear with this? So we made an application in form number MSC1. It allowed us the status of a dormant company by issuing us a certificate in form number MSC2. Very clear with this? Okay, now listen. Here though, we made an application to the ROC that, sir, please grant us the status of a dormant company. Can ROC also put my name in the register of dormant company suo moto? Like here we made an application, here the company made an application. Can ROC also do that? Yes, so there is one such circumstance there, that if a company is not filing the FS or the annual returns for 2 years, same for 2 financial years, if it is not filing, then ROC, what it does is, it will issue a notice to the company that you haven't filed it for the last 2 years. It will give a kind of ROBS that do you want to file it now or should we put your name in the register of dormant companies? Very clear with this? So, in the first case, by passing an SR, company went and made an application to the ROC. Alternatively, if we also did not file those documents to the ROC will come to know na, that so and so company has not filed the FS or annual returns for the last 2 years. So, in such cases, ROC will issue a notice. Okay, ROC will issue a notice that you did not file this and should we put your name in the register of dormant company. It will give us a reasonable opportunity of being heard. Very, very clear with this, everyone? Yes? Okay. So this way our name can enter. Okay, this way our name can enter in the register of dormant company. Then what is the benefit? Like, why do we want to get our name entered in the register of dormant companies? What's the benefit of that? So now the thing is, see, the compliances get reduced. Okay, first benefit is the compliances get reduced. If you get the tag of a dormant company. Okay, but suppose if once you have got the status of a dormant company, then also you have to pay the fees to the ROC. Okay, you have to keep minimum number of directors in the company. That compliance has to, some compliance, it's not that it is going to come down to zero compliance. Okay, some compliance have to be met. Okay, then after that we have to sometimes file the required documents etc with the ROC, and we will have to pay the annual fees etc to the ROC. So this way, these provisions are still applicable to the dormant company. Okay, compliance is reduced. It does not go to zero, but compliance is definitely reduced. Very clear with this? Acha, suppose if after becoming a dormant company, we do not comply with these requirements. Okay, we do not comply with these requirements, then in that case, our name will be striked off from the register of dormant companies. Means again, we'll be put in the register of active companies and the penalties, punishment will be applicable on you. Now you were there in the dormant companies register. If you do not comply with these requirements, then they will remove your name from the dormant companies register. They don't want any defaulting persons to come and sit in the register of dormant company. Right? And even companies are required to file a return called as return of dormant company. Okay, there is a specific return applicable for that. Return of dormant company, which will be there in form number MSC3 and which is audited by a chartered accountant. So for that also we'll have to pay the fees to the CA. That is not a significant accounting transaction. Okay, company has to file this return called as return of dormant company in form number MSC3, with the ROC, and this has to be done within 30 days of close of the year. This is an annual return actually. So this is to be done within 30 days of close of the year. Why within 30 days? Why so early? Because anyways there would be no significant accounting transaction. So it is practically possible to file this return within 30 days. Very clear with this? And yes, in case of directors, there will be no rotation applicable. Means it's not necessary to remove the existing directors and to bring new faces in the company. No. Why? Because there are no significant accounting transactions, then why to do the rotation of the directors? Very clear with this? Did you understand this? So dormant company is also required to fulfill certain compliances. No doubt in that. Okay, dormant company is also required to fulfill certain compliances after being a dormant company, but yes, not that much as is applicable to an active company. Okay, at least not that much which is applicable to an active company. And yes, one special requirement is there. It has to file a return. Okay, it has to file a return called as return of dormant company within 30 days of close of the year, and that goes in form number MSC3. For what purpose was MSC1 used? MSC1 was used for company suo motu going and making an application to ROC for putting the name in register of dormant companies. And MSC2, what happened in MSC2? In MSC2, we got a certificate from the ROC that yes, your name has been put in the register of dormant companies. Okay, so till now you were an active company. Now you got yourself registered as a dormant company. Now say for example, now can I say I am a dormant company at the moment? If I am a dormant company, okay, if I am a dormant company, then I may become an active company. Suppose if I want to start the business transaction, suppose if I want to start the business operations, etc., then in that case, I can again get back to the original status of an active company by going and making an application to the ROC. Again, I will go and make an application to the ROC in form number, next one, form number MSC4, I can go and make an application to the ROC. Okay, plus I will file the required documents to prove this particular fact, that yes, see, we are going to start so and so business transaction, and plus we'll have to pay the required fees, etc., whatever is there. And one very important thing that we have to submit here is we have to submit MSc 3 for the remaining period. Like MSc 3 was the return of the dormant company which was filed on annual basis. But now what if I want to get myself converted into a dormant company during middle of this year? Then for that much period, say for example, I want to get converted into active company with effect from 1st October, say for example. Then for the first 6 months, that is from 1st April to 30th September, I have to submit this form number MSc 3. I would have already submitted for the last year. Okay, but this year 6 months is pending, right? So we will submit it in form number MSc. Very clear with this? Hey, did you understand this? Yes. So this is the requirement of getting yourself converted from a dormant company to an active company. Okay, we'll go and make an application to the ROC in form number MSc 4. We'll take the supporting documents, we'll take the fees, and plus extra thing, very important thing is we'll submit that return of dormant company for the period from 1st April of this particular year till the date we became an active company. Right? And after that, once the application is submitted to the ROC will check whether your application is correct or not, whether you should be granted the status of a dormant company, of an active company or not. After checking all those things, ROC will grant you the status of an active company, which is going to be in form number MSc 5. Okay, everything is coming in sequence, so that is going to be issued in form number MSc 5. I hope I am very, very clear till here. So this was the journey from being an active company to a dormant company to again becoming an active company. Very, very clear with this, everyone? Okay, so now let's go to the last part. Okay, let's go to the last part, a very general part which is coming up here, everyone here. I'll show it to you. Yes, the last part. Okay, where a dormant company does or omits to do any acts mentioned in the grounds of application in form number MSc 1 submitted to the registrar ROC for obtaining the status of a dormant company which is affecting its status, the director shall within 7 days from such event file an application for getting the status of an active company. Means what are they trying to say? That one, say for example, you made an application in form number MSc 1 that you want to get the status of a dormant company, and now say for example you want to start the business. Okay, you want to get into an active business. So as soon as you do the first business transaction, from that day within a period of 7 days, the director should go and make an application that we want to get ourselves converted into an active company. So responsibility vests on whom? Responsibility vests on the directors of the company as soon as that event takes place. Okay, as soon as that event takes place, which is, which shows that you are an active company, then from that day within a period of 7 days, you should apply for getting the status of an active company. Very clear with this? And then the last part which is coming in continuation is where the ROC has reasonable cause to believe that any dormant company has been functioning. Means actually it has taken the status of a dormant company, but actually it is an active company. Then in that case, ROC. Okay, ROC may initiate the inquiry inspection under section 206, the first section of that chapter. And after giving reasonable opportunity of being heard, if it comes to know that it is active, then in that case, the company will be treated as an active company and its name will be removed from the dormant company. So if ROC has any doubt on me, okay, if ROC has any doubt on me that I have shown myself as if I am a dormant company, but actually I am functioning, then after doing inspection inquiry, it can change my status suo moto also. Okay, it can change my status suo moto also. Very clear with this? Acha, for how long can you remain as a dormant company? For how long? For lifetime can I remain as a dormant company? No, then what was the point in forming the company, right? So, however, the registrar shall initiate the process of striking of the name of the company if the company remains as a dormant company for a period of consecutive 5 years. So if you have stayed as a dormant company continuously for a period of 5 years, then ROC can strike off your name. Okay, ROC can strike off your name, because then what's the point? If you have been dormant since 5 years, means there is no intention of your company to do the business. So let's strike off the name. But yes, obviously, before striking off, the company will give you reasonable opportunity of being heard and all those things. Very clear with this? This is an important point. This is an important point. If you remain dormant for a period of 5 years, gone. Your name can be striked off. And in these cases, the name cannot be striked off. Okay, in these cases, the name cannot be striked off. Which cases? Which cases? Suppose if inspection inquiry is going on, then your name cannot be, you cannot get the status of a dormant company. If prosecution is going on, then also no. If there are any outstanding public deposits, or if there is any default in that, then also the company cannot get the status of a dormant company. If there are outstanding loans, dispute in management, outstanding taxes, duties, default in payment of workmen dues, or if the securities are listed in any particular stock exchange, then in such cases it shows that either you are a defaulting person or you are an active person. Okay, so in that case you cannot get the status of a dormant company. Very clear with this, everyone? Yes, so you can apply for the status of a dormant company if there is nothing of this sort. Okay, if there is there is no dispute in management, there is no outstanding taxes, there is no default in payment of public deposits, and so on, then only you can apply for the status of a dormant company. Otherwise you cannot. I hope I'm very, very clear with this, everyone. Yes. Okay. So this was what? This was basically talking about the extra pointers. Okay, this was basically talking about the extra pointers of the dormant company. And yes, lastly in this, the 5 forms that we used. Okay, MSc 1 to MSc 5, the 5 forms that we used. MSc 1 was used for what purpose? MSc 1 was used for making an application for getting the status of a dormant company. Okay, MSc 2 we got a certificate of dormant company. Okay, MSc 3 was filing of that annual return of dormant company. MSc 4 was making an application for getting the status of an active company in form number MSc 4. Okay, and the last one, MSc 5. MSc 5 was the certificate. Okay, MSc 5 was the certificate again of an active company. I hope I am very, very clear till here, everyone. And yes, another important thing to be remembered here is if you stay dormant for a period of 5 years, then your name can be striked off. Okay, your name can be striked. Very clear with this? Yes, this was, now finally, this was all about your third part. Okay, this was all about your third part, that is your dormant company, section number 455, read along with certain rules. Okay, section number to be remembered, as well as the content is also to be remembered. And yes, in this particular section, don't forget the definition of inactive company. That is, when is the company treated to be an inactive company, and which transactions are treated as significant accounting transaction, etc. These 2-3 definitions which were there in the beginning, and the 5 forms. Okay, please do not forget it. Very clear with this? Okay, so we are done.